evening. कल जो questions किए थे, have you done that? First of all, just let me know. कोई doubt उस question में? उस question में किसी को doubt है जो हमने कल किया था? Anybody is having any doubt in that? तो पूछिए. Economy पे question दिया था. Define process. आप नहीं थे पीयूष कल वाली क्लास में. What happened? You joined and later went. कुछ technical issue था क्या? Okay, no problem. आप recorded lecture देख लेना. I think Soumya is not here. I wanted to discuss एक paper I will be discussing. So what I have tried to do, देखिए I want कि जो भी जिनका भी pattern अच्छा है लिखने का, so I want that वो pattern हम class में ही discuss करें. कुछ mistakes हैं तो वो भी directly पता चल जाएंगी concerned person को. And on the daily basis I'll do that. मतलब एक question जो भी आएगा. ठंडा है ना? ठंडा है. क्या हो गया? ठंडा आ ही नहीं रहा. ठीक है. ओके. सो दिस इज व्हाट कि आप लोगों को समझना पड़ेगा इसके अंदर कि आपको क्या रिक्वायरमेंट है आंसर की. तो आज जब उन्होंने मुझे असाइनमेंट भेजा, सौम्या हैज सेंट दैट इन असाइनमेंट टू मी. शी इज नॉट प्रेजेंट ऑनलाइन टुडे, सो आई विल बी डिस्कसिंग हर आंसर ओनली व्हेन शी विल बी देयर. एंड देन उनके ही आंसर से आप लोग भी समझेंगे कि क्या किस तरह का आंसर होना चाहिए, क्या उसमें मिस्टेक्स हैं, क्या उसमें अच्छा है, दैट यू कैन ऑल्सो कॉपी. ठीक है, डन. So next thing we are going to move forward quickly to is floods. Write on the heading floods. Yesterday we have done the droughts. Now write on the heading floods. लिखिए. Write down. Floods occur when peak discharge. Floods occur when peak discharge. Okay, so I was discussing about you only. Last time we'll discuss your answer. Okay. Okay. Floods. Floods occur when peak discharge exceeds channel capacity. Floods occur when peak discharge exceeds channel capacity, comma, and this may be brought about naturally, and this may be brought about naturally by intense precipitation, by intense precipitation, comma, snow and ice melt, snow and ice melt, comma, storm surges in coastal regions, storm surges, STORM, storm surges in coastal regions, and rifting of barriers such as ice dam or the failure of man-made structures. The failure of man-made structures. Full comma. By deforestation, comma, urbanization, and by engineering works such as drainage, such as land drainage, or the straightening of embankments, the straightening of embankments of rivers, the straightening of embankments of rivers. ठीक है, तो क्या है floods? Please understand. First of all, you need to start with the definition. Excess of water, that is, everybody knows about that, but how you have to express. Floods occur when the peak discharge exceeds channel capacity. The capacity जितना channel का capacity है, means streams का जितना capacity है, उससे ज़्यादा आपका it will start flowing. Channel capacity means what? क्या capacity है इसका? Volume of the water, there is a certain volume of the water this channel can bear. अगर ये volume exceed करेगा, then what will happen? Obviously there will be overflow of the water, and this will lead to a lot of things. For example, there would be the discharge which will be happening haphazardly, and therefore we are reading this subject. Now, floods occur when peak discharge exceeds channel capacity, and this may be brought about naturally by intense precipitation. किन किन चीजों से हो सकता है? या तो आपका intense precipitation हो, या फिर आपका rainfall is same, then या फिर आपका snow, it happens like snow changes into rivers, and the rivers का capacity ज़्यादा हो जाता है, और same it can lead to that, or it could lead because of the ice melt, storm surges in coastal regions, and the rifting of barriers such as ice dam. अगर कोई dam आपका टूट जाता है, and then क्या होगा? Because of that there will be overflow of the water in the surrounding regions. ठीक है, next write down. कहाँ तक लिखा आप लोगों ने? Till where you have written, all of you? Samya, can you tell me till where you have written?
Ma'am, last line was straightening of embankment of rivers.
Okay, straightening of embankment. What do you understand by this? Rifting of barriers such as ice dams or by failure of man-made structure. What do you mean by man-made structure? So your overflow is being stopped by embankment. What is embankment? The leveling up of the walls that you do on the sides of any stream. आप साइड में एक बैरिकेड बना देते हैं, बैरियर बना देते हैं, and that barrier is like at a height so that the water does not flow out. But because the man-made structure are also not so reliable, sometimes they just explode from here and just go out. It can also happen because structurally they are not that strong sometimes. The flow of the water, the speed of the water is so high that they surpasses that also. So in that case, they are not going to work, right? What else? Deforestation, then urbanization, which reduces infiltration, and then by engineering work such as land drainage or by straightening of embankments of river. Now, write down next. Flood has also been defined. Flood has also been defined as a state of high water level. Flood has also been defined as a state of high water level along the river channel or coast. The flood has been defined as a state of high water level along the river channel or the coast that leads to inundation. Write down the spelling INUNDATION. Inundation of land which is normally submerged. Full stop. Flood is an important component of flood is an important component of hydrological cycle of a drainage basin. Full stop. Now, what did you understand by this? Yes. What do you understand by this? We have done a para right now. What do you understand by that? So it's saying flood has also been defined as state of high water level along the river channel or the coast that leads to inundation. Please come of land, which normally submerged. That means what? Inundation of land means write down inundation of land. उसी में आप लिख सकते हैं एरो बना के just for the understanding means rising of the body of water and it's overflowing. It means the rising of the body of water. It means the rising of the body of water or overflowing onto normally dry land. Normally dry land. That means even a small part of it which was submerged, वो क्या दिखने लगेगा? You can see it clearly. ठीक है? Now write down the causes of flood. Write down the first clause, causes of flood. क्या क्या causes हो सकते हैं flood के? Which is very normal to understand. और कोई समझ सकता है what is the causes of flood? हाँ, इतना ही छोड़, थोड़ा ही छोड़ना, ज्यादा नहीं. हाँ, what could be the causes of floods? क्या क्या हो सकते हैं? The main factor, write down. The main factor responsible for the occurrence of floods are first. इनको कैटेगरीज में डिफाइन करेंगे हम फर्स्ट, सेकंड एंड थर्ड. ओके, द फर्स्ट वन इज राइट डाउन मीटियोलॉजिकल. मीटियोर लिखेंगे मीटियोर रो आर ओ मीटियोरोलॉजिकल. देन जियोमॉर्फिक and then anthropogenic and then anthropogenic. Now you tell me why we have divided this into three types causes of flood. आप बताइए why we have divided into three types. One we have done into meteorological, another one geomorphic, another one anthropogenic. Why? Because the floods are basically caused by, when I talk about geomorphic, what do you understand by that? Geomorphic, because of the change in the land surface. For example, it might happen that the floods have come because of the shift in some plates. ऐसा भी तो हो सकता है there is a movement of plate which is happening and because of that the flood has come. नहीं हो सकता ऐसा? हो सकता है. Then anthropogenic means what? It is because of the human induced factors, because humans are changing, they are majorly responsible for the climate change, and therefore when the climate change is happening there are different activities which are leading in its repercussion. And what are those repercussions? There could be more of monsoonal rains which are coming there. There could be less of monsoons in the rains in the other part, and there could be also change in the courses. Breaking of dam, yes. ठीक है. These are man-made things. आप dam इतना, you're not using the good quality and there would be a dismantling of the dam which will happen, and that's why it is also one of the anthropogenic activity. अब डैम आपने बनाया है और टूटा भी आपकी वजह से ही है, तो ये एंथ्रोपोजेनिक ही होगा ना, बिकॉज इट इज ह्यूमन इंड्यूस्ड. ठीक है. सो देयर आर डिफरेंट फैक्टर्स अटैच्ड टू इट. राइट डाउन. meteorological factors include, can I just switch off the AC because I'm remote is not here. हाँ बोलिए. राइट डाउन. सबसे पहले फैक्टर्स में लिखिए meteorological factors include heavy rainfall. It includes heavy rainfall. Next, snowfall. Heavy rainfall, snowfall due to tropical cyclones. Due to tropical cyclones. By the way, we have to do tropical cyclone only after this. Like half of the time we'll do this floods. We'll complete this topic in 45 minutes and then we'll switch to tropical cyclones. Okay. Due to tropical cyclones, comma, and cloud burst. And cloud burst. Full stop. Most of the, lie down, most of the floods in India are result of, most of the floods in India are result of heavy precipitation. Heavy precipitation. Do you have a problem in writing the spellings? I think you can write, I hope you can write this precipitation. It is because of the heavy precipitation. Okay. Then write down, comma, especially during season of southwest monsoon. Especially during season of southwest monsoon. नेक्स्ट में लिखेंगे जियोमॉर्फिक फैक्टर्स. नेक्स्ट में लिखेंगे जियोमॉर्फिक फैक्टर्स. राइट डाउन जियोमॉर्फिक फैक्टर्स. Write down geomorphic factors like the large catchment area of the river, the large catchment area of the river, comma, gentle slope, and low gradient of river course. And low gradient of river course. कौन कौन से फैक्टर्स बताए आपने? Large catchment area. What is a catchment area? Who will explain me? Second, gentle slope. Third, low gradient slope. Low gradient slope and low gradient of river course. Low gradient of river course. Next, poor drainage. Poor drainage. The area from which water is drained into river. Correct. Poor drainage. Now starting from the last point से start करते हैं. What do you understand by poor drainage? Poor drainage means where you do not have any area where you can drain the water. For example, simple सा एक बात समझिए. आपके एरिया में फॉर एग्जाम्पल योर रूफटॉप, आप रूफटॉप के अंदर एक क्या छोड़ते हैं, एक पाइप छोड़ते हैं, ठीक है. वाई? योर पाइप इज रिक्वायर्ड, अ वेंट इज रिक्वायर्ड सो दैट इफ द मोर वाटर कम्स इन देन व्हाट विल हैपन, द वाटर कैन गो सीप फ्रॉम हियर एंड गो थ्रू द ड्रेनेज. और आपको फिर रूफ क्या नहीं मिलता है, वाटर नहीं मिलता है रूफ पे चाहे कितनी ही बारिश हो. दैट इज व्हाट यू कॉल ड्रेनेज. ड्रेन का मतलब क्या है कि आपका वाटर जो है वो ड्रेन हो जाए, आपका इजीली आउटफ्लो हो जाए कितना भी बारिश है, ठीक है. दैट इज कॉल्ड द गुड ड्रेनेज सिस्टम. For some reason for example your pipes got locked, for some reason it got locked, so what will happen, the whole roof will have the water, पूरा पानी भर जाएगा उसके ऊपर. इसी को कहते हैं पुअर ड्रेनेज. तो अगर पुअर ड्रेनेज होगा किसी भी स्ट्रीम के अंदर, या उसके पास वेंट्स नहीं होंगे, या उसके पास एरिया नहीं होगा, तो व्हाट विल हैपन, इट विल ओवरफ्लो. कहाँ ओवरफ्लो करेगा? आपके साइड्स में ओवरफ्लो करेगा एंड दैट इट विल क्रिएट फ्लड्स. Point is clear? Poor drainage. Then comes the low gradient river course. What do you mean by low gradient river course? Gradient का मतलब क्या होता है? Slope. Low slope हो किसका? River course का. अब low slope से क्या मतलब है river courses का? ये देखिए, ये आपकी रिवर है. Slow courses से क्या मतलब है? What do you mean by low courses? This low gradient. बताओ. At a स्लो नहीं, लो ग्रेडियंट का क्या मतलब है? व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय लो ग्रेडियंट? मतलब देखिए, नीचे वाला एरिया है जो आपका लैंड है, यहाँ पे देखिए आप, ये आपका लैंड है. अब जहाँ पे मैं खड़ी हूँ उसमें कितना डिफरेंस है डिफरेंस. अगर यही डिफरेंस मैं कम कर दूं, सो वाटर विल फ्लो कहाँ? बाहर. ठीक है. सो इफ लॉट ऑफ पीपल जो ऑनलाइन है वो नहीं समझ पाएंगे बिकॉज दे आर नॉट इन द क्लास. ओके, सो फॉर देम प्लीज राइट डाउन द मीनिंग ऑफ लो ग्रेडियंट. राइट डाउन. Low gradient has a gentle slope, comma, slight slope, full stop. This gentle slope is the characteristics of low gradient. मतलब आपका slope कैसा होगा? Gentle. It means you are having a gentle slope. Okay. Low gradient means having a gentle slope. Gentle slope is a characteristic of river's lower course. It is the characteristic of river's lower course. And how many of you cannot understand the meaning of course? कोर्स नहीं समझ आता? हाँ, करेक्ट. ठीक है. लोअर कोर्स कॉमा वेयर इट हैज लेस एनर्जी एंड डिपॉजिट सेडिमेंट्स, वेयर इट हैज लेस एनर्जी, वेयर इट हैज लेस एनर्जी and it deposits sediments, where it has less energy and deposits sediments, comma, creating features like floodplains, creating features like floodplains and meandering क्या मतलब है इसका? देखिए, जब लोअर कोर्सेज होते हैं लाइक दिस, एक कोर्स आपका ये है स्टीप, दिस इज योर स्टीप, दिस इज योर मॉडरेट, and see this is a very gentle one, this one. ठीक है. Imagine यहाँ से river आया and how it will flow. It will flow in a very very slow manner here. What is happening here? The chances of sediments accumulating here will be more, and when chances of sediments being accumulated here will be more, then what will happen? क्या होगा फिर? There will be chances of big formation of sediments. Sediments क्या बनाते हैं मिलके? A bit block can also they can make, and what will happen further? This will lead them to change their courses. Why? Because a barrier has come. This will create a kind of a flood plain. क्योंकि ये चीज क्या क्रिएट करती है, फिर फ्लड प्लेन्स क्रिएट करती है। और ये जरूरी नहीं है कि एक बार यहाँ आपको लगेगा ये हटा देते हैं तो फ्लड प्लेन नहीं, तो दोबारा बनाएंगे, यहाँ नहीं बनाएंगे, यहाँ बनाएंगे, कहीं तो बनाएंगे, क्योंकि कोर्सेज कैसे हैं, लोअर है। आ रहा है बात सबको समझ में? ठीक है, नाउ मूव टू नेक्स्ट विच इज योर, कहाँ तक लिखा था आपने वहां पे? साउथ वेस्ट मानसून, मियांड्रिंग नहीं, ऊपर वाला जो आपका लास्ट, जियोमॉर्फिक फैक्टर्स हमने स्टार्ट किया है। ठीक है, पुअर ड्रेनेज, राइट डाउन जियोमॉर्फिक फैक्टर्स like large catchment area of the river, gentle slope and low gradient of river course, and poor drainage also lead to floods in the northern plains, also leads to floods in the northern plains and coastal region. It also leads to floods in the northern plain and coastal regions and coastal regions. It also lead to floods in northern plain and coastal regions. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट लिखेंगे the anthropogenic causes includes deforestation. The anthropogenic causes include deforestation. Write down the first point, deforestation, encroachment for agriculture into pasture, encroachment for agriculture into pasture and forest area, into pasture and forest area. Next, shifting cultivation, unscientific rotation of shifting cultivation, unscientific rotation of crops. ऐसा भी हो सकता है that in order to give a good yield of the crops, they are mindlessly using the pesticide etc, and they are growing the crops there. That can also lead to the kind of anthropogenic activities. उससे क्या होगा, soil will degrade, and when soil will degrade then what will happen, because soils जो आपका land है, for example this is a course, और अगर यहाँ पे vegetation अच्छा है तो that is also leads to what, कि वहां पे फ्लड्स नहीं आते हैं ऐसे एरिया में, अगर वेजिटेशन इधर अच्छा है तो। ठीक है, व्हाट विल हैपन, इट विल स्टॉप द फ्लो ऑफ द वाटर ज्यादा। अगर बहुत लेवल हाई स्पीड पे आ रहा है तो नोबडी कैन स्टॉप, फिर तो क्रॉप्स आपकी खराब ही होंगी। पर अगर लो लेवल पे है, अगर इंटेंसिटी इतनी हाई नहीं है फ्लड्स की, तो टू सम एक्सटेंट दे कैन सेव इट। नेक्स्ट लिखेंगे, कहाँ तक लिखा आपने? नहीं, पर्सनल क्रॉप्स, bursting of dams and embankments, bursting of dams and embankments, AMB, AMBANKMENT, embankments, bursting of, write down bursting of dams and embankments, urbanization and construction of houses, urbanization and construction of houses, urbanization and construction of houses in the river beds are also responsible for, in the river beds are also responsible for the number of floods in the country. अब आप लिखेंगे the flood prone areas, कितने flood prone areas है इंडिया में? Can you tell me how many flood prone areas are in India? How many of are there? There are 4 flood prone areas. कौन कौन से? One is your Ganga, then it's your Brahmaputra, Then the major one is your Punjab, Haryana floodplain, and then last is your floodplain areas of coastal areas. ठीक है? Now write down flood prone areas of India. Write down flood prone areas of India. Just revise for 2 minutes, and if we'll proceed further, whatever we have done, एक बार आप देखिए and ask me the question. Yes, done. Do you need to have clearance on anything? Okay. Now write down. First, write down the data. Flood prone areas of India. उसके नीचे लिखेंगे. Out of the country's total. Out of the country's total geographical area. Out of the country's total geographical area. ब्रैकेट में लिखेंगे 329 million hectares. 329 million hectares. Bracket close. About 45 million hectares. About 45 million hectares, which is 13.6%. Which is 13.6% is prone to flood. Is prone to flood. Underline the data. Full stop. The flood prone area of India can be categorized into four parts. This can be categorized into four parts. The first one is Ganga River Basin. The first one is Ganga River Basin. सेकंड आप लिखेंगे ब्रह्मपुत्र रिवर बेसिन. देन पंजाब हरियाणा बेसिन. पंजाब हरियाणा basin. And fourth, write down flood prone areas of coastal plains. Flood prone areas of coastal plains. Flood prone areas of coastal plain. First, please write down about Ganga River Basin. Ganga River Basin. Very easy to write on Ganga River Basin. Huh? Write down stretching over on an area of 8 lakh 61,000 square kilometer. Stretching over on an area of 8 lakh 61,000 kilometer square kilometer. The Ganga and its tributary drains it tributaries आ गए तो सिर्फ drain आएगा. Drain the states of Uttarakhand, comma Himachal Pradesh. Drain the states of Uttarakhand, comma Himachal Pradesh, comma Haryana, comma उत्तर प्रदेश. हरियाणा. क्या मिस कर दिया आपने? हाँ, कहाँ पे मिस किया आपने बताइए? उत्तराखंड से ट्रिब्यूटरीज से मिस करें. ट्रिब्यूटरीज ड्रेन द स्टेट्स ऑफ उत्तराखंड, कॉमा हिमाचल प्रदेश, कॉमा हरियाणा, कॉमा उत्तर प्रदेश, कॉमा बिहार, कॉमा वेस्ट बंगाल, कॉमा वेस्ट बंगाल, कॉमा झारखंड, कॉमा छत्तीसगढ़, कॉमा मध्य प्रदेश एंड राजस्थान, कॉमा मध्य प्रदेश एंड राजस्थान. Full stop. Its large left hand tributary are I think you don't need to write about tributaries. This is unnecessary point. Don't write. I think writing tributary makes no sense in the flood. Just write down. Next point. The mighty Himalayas and northern peninsular India. Write down. Next point में लिखेंगे the mighty Himalayas and northern peninsular India, comma the Ganga and its tributary carry enormous quantity of water. Full stop. These rivers due to heavy rains in the rainy season and melting of snow in the spring season. These rivers, comma, due to heavy rains in the rainy season and melting of snow in the spring season, comma, causes heavy floods in the middle and lower reaches of their catchment. in the middle and lower reaches of their catchments. Full stop. Okay. What is the issue with the Ganga plains? These are carrying the perennial rivers. What are the perennial rivers? The rivers which carry the water flow all the time. ठीक है, ये water का flow लेकर चलती हैं, they carry it, and that's why they are known as what? These are the perennial rivers, and it's very very important to understand these perennial rivers are causing what? They are causing the floods. ठीक है, write down. The state of Uttar Pradesh, the state of Uttar Pradesh alone constitutes about, the state of Uttar Pradesh alone constitutes about, the state of Uttar Pradesh alone constitute about 22%. The state of Uttar Pradesh alone constitute about 22% of the flood prone area, 22% of the flood prone area of the country, of the country. Full stop. The river channels of this river, the river channels of this river are increasingly getting, are increasingly getting shallower, comma, shallower, comma, especially in the middle, especially in the middle and lower reaches, especially in the middle and lower reaches. Full stop. In the event of the heavy rainfall, full stop के बाद लिखेंगे. In the event of the heavy rainfall, the rivers cross their banks, the rivers cross their banks the rivers cross their banks and inundate, 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 inundate the neighboring Khaddar areas, the neighboring Khaddar areas. The neighboring Khaddar areas. Written on the neighboring areas. ठीक है. Now write down about in Bihar. Write down in Bihar. Floods, comma, floods are largely confined in Bihar. The floods are largely confined to the northern part of the state, which you also call as the Tarai region. ठीक है, क्या बोलते हैं आप उसको? Tarai region. Write down in Bihar. The floods are largely in Bihar. The floods are largely confined to the northern part of the state, where the occurrence of flood, where the occurrence of flood is is almost an annual feature, is almost an annual feature during the season of, during the season of general rains, during the season of general rains. Full stop. The rivers like Gandak, comma, Bagmati, 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 inundate, Inundate, inundate the low-lying Khaddar areas, inundate the low-lying Khaddar areas, Khadar, Khaddar areas. Next line, in West Bengal, In West Bengal, the southern and central parts are frequently flooding. In West Bengal, the southern and central parts are frequently flooded during the season of southwest monsoon, which is the southern part, Sundarban wala area, right? The central and southern parts are frequently flooded during the southwest monsoon. Write down. The Mahananda, comma, Bhagirathi are often in floods in the rainy season. Are often in floods in the rainy season. These rivers, Bhagirathi and Mahananda. Then write down next Brahmaputra river basin. Brahmaputra river basin. Arun, what happened? It's not started. आ ही नहीं रहा है वहाँ पे कुछ. Is it working? But इसमें कुछ दिख नहीं रहा ना ऊपर. 24 टेम्परेचर वगैरह दिखता है ना ऊपर वहाँ पे दिखता है 24 टेम्परेचर. चल रहा है तो ठीक है फिर. ठीक है. ओके, नेक्स्ट राइट डाउन ब्रह्मपुत्र रिवर बेसिन लिखेंगे आप. राइट डाउन द मैक्सिमम डिस्चार्ज ऑफ द वाटर among the Indian rivers. The maximum discharge of the water is among the Indian rivers is in the Brahmaputra river. Is in the Brahmaputra river. Full stop. The Assam Valley is considered to be the one of the worst flood affected areas of India. Full stop. In fact, in Assam, comma, floods are almost an annual feature. In Assam, floods are almost an annual feature. Full stop. The Teesta and Torsa rivers often overflow their bank to flood the regions. The Teesta and Torsa rivers often overflow their banks to flood the regions of the northern West Bengal, comma, Manipur and Sikkim. Write down. The main causes of flood in the Brahmaputra river are first point, heavy and torrential rainfall. During the rainy season, over 200 centimeter of rainfall is recorded. Over greater parts of the middle and lower reaches. Second point, silting of the river middle and lower reaches. Second point, silting of the river course. सिल्टिंग आप समझते हैं, सेम सेडिमेंटेशन. ये आपका रिवर आ रहा है, ऐसे ओवरफ्लो कर गया, यहाँ पे सिल्ट विल गेट एक्यूमुलेटेड, और सिल्ट एक्यूमुलेट होगा तो क्या होगा, यहाँ पे अगेन कोई रिवर फ्लो करेगा, देन अगेन इट विल हैव अ बैरियर लाइक हियर, यहाँ पे एक बैरियर बन जाएगा एंड इट विल फ्लो लाइक दिस. ठीक है, दिस इज व्हाट यू कॉल एट सिल्टिंग. यहाँ पे सिल्टिंग हो गया मतलब ओवरफ्लो, यहाँ पे फ्लो एक्यूमुलेट हो गया. ठीक है, एंड देन इट विल चेंज द कोर्स. ठीक है, इट विल चेंज द कोर्स. सिल्टिंग ऑफ द रिवर कोर्स ड्यू टू हैवी सॉइल इरोजन. थर्ड पॉइंट लिखेंगे लैंडस्लाइड्स. लैंडस्लाइड्स. फोर्थ राइट डाउन हैवी पॉपुलेशन, हैवी प्रेशर ऑफ पॉपुलेशन. थर्ड लिखेंगे हैवी प्रेशर ऑफ पॉपुलेशन. We have discussed already that urbanization is one of the factor which also causes all this. So definitely density of population आपको असम areas में पता है, especially in the plains which is very very high. Heavy pressure of population. Fifth लिखेंगे shifting cultivation on surrounding hilly areas. Shifting cultivation. Fifth point. Shifting cultivation on surrounding hilly areas. Shifting cultivation on surrounding hilly areas. Heavy pressure of population. Why not? Urbanization होगा, जहाँ पे you don't require urbanization वहाँ पे भी आप आएंगे, और जब you will do what? You will do anthropogenic activities. उसकी वजह से क्या होगा? You will try to indulge in the unfair activities. जैसे for example, हाँ हाँ, उत्तराखंड फ्लड जैसे आपको इतना प्रेशर नहीं देना है आपको उस एरिया के ऊपर, एंड देन आल्सो यू आर मेकिंग डैम्स, देन आल्सो यू आर मेकिंग द बिल्डिंग्स, होटल्स फॉर योर मैक्सिमाइजेशन ऑफ द प्रॉफिट आप बनाए जा रहे हो, व्हिच इज नॉट अलाउड. फिर क्या होगा, से लैंडस्लाइड्स होंगी क्योंकि प्रेशर तो सेम है, वहीं पे लग रहा है सारी एरियाज पे, एंड देन इट विल लीड टू द कॉज ऑफ फ्लड्स. राइट डाउन ऑल दिस फैक्टर्स रिजल्ट इन फ्लडिंग. All these factors result in flooding. Write down the worst affected area of Assam during the floods. The worst affected area of Assam during the floods is Majuli. Majuli, which is India's world's largest river island. Which is India's largest river island, and it's the world's largest river island as well. ठीक है. Write down a short assignment question that you have to do now, and then we'll continue with the topic. या बैक पे लिख सकते हैं, मतलब बैक ऑफ योर नोटबुक, या फिर बीच में 2 पेज छोड़ के, बिकॉज वी आर स्टिल इन द कंटिन्यूशन ऑफ द टॉपिक. आई जस्ट फॉर द योर क्लैरिटी आई वांट यू टू डिस्कस दिस पार्ट. ठीक है, यू हैव टू राइट ओनली इन 100 वर्ड्स, ज्यादा नहीं लिखना है, और उसको समझिए कि व्हाट इट इज ट्राइंग टू टेल यू. जितना आप लिखेंगे उतना क्लैरिटी मिलेगी आपको, नहीं लिखेंगे तो क्लैरिटी नहीं मिलेगी. फॉर्मेट चूज कर सकते हैं, इंट्रो, बॉडी, कंक्लूजन जैसा लिखना है वो भी अलाउड है, नॉर्मल पॉइंट्स में लिखना है वो भी अलाउड है. दिस इज जस्ट इन नॉर्मल क्वेश्चन, दिस इज नॉट प्रॉपर आंसर राइटिंग आई एम डूइंग, दिस इज जस्ट फॉर योर क्लैरिटी. हैव गिवन दिस. Done. हो गया 7 minutes डन ऑलरेडी. क्या क्या लिखा आप लोगों ने एंथ्रोपोजेनिक में? हम्म. ठीक है. ठीक है. और डिफॉरेस्टेशन बस एंथ्रोपोजेनिक में? फैक्टर्स बताओ ना कितने सारे लिखे हैं. डिफॉरेस्टेशन और हाँ ओके अनसाइंटिफिक और ठीक है. डैम इंड्यूस फ्लड्स जैसे ठीक है. क्लाइमेट चेंज नहीं लिखा. ब्रॉडर है या शॉर्टर है तो एंथ्रोपोजेनिक की वजह से ही ना. अर्बनाइजेशन वेरी गुड. मिसमैनेजमेंट और क्लाइमेट चेंज पुअर ड्रेनेज. माइनिंग यस डेफिनेटली माइनिंग से भी होता है. सिल्टेशन क्या होता है? माइन करते हो आप और it leads to degradation of the soil and then the courses change their direction. The river courses changes the direction. और बताइए. Are you able to understand it? First of all let me know that. समझ पा रहे हैं आप लोग? ठीक है. Now write down पंजाब हरियाणा फ्लड प्लेन्स. और कोई टॉपिक डिस्कस करना है इसमें? पंजाब हरियाणा फ्लड प्लेन्स. राइट डाउन. The area falls under the area falls under the scanty rainfall recordings. The area falls under the scanty rainfall. The area falls under the scanty rainfall recording areas of India. Scanty means बहुत कम. Full stop. Despite low rainfall, despite low rainfall, comma, Punjab and Haryana are adversely affected. Punjab and Haryana are adversely affected by the floods because of inadequate surface drainage. Full stop. In Punjab and Haryana, comma, the rainfall water is waterlogged. The rainfall water is waterlogged. Full stop. Consequently, the ill-drained areas. कौन से होते हैं ill-drained areas? Okay. Consequently, the ill-drained areas are inundated. Write down. The rivers like Satluj, Beas. The river like Satluj, Beas, Ghaggar. The river like Satluj, Beas, Ghaggar, and Markanda record floods almost annually. Full stop. The main reason of floods in Punjab and Haryana are first point, deforestation in lower Himalayas and the Shivaliks. First point लिखेंगे deforestation in lower Himalayas and Shivalik. सेकेंड पॉइंट लिखेंगे इंक्रीज इन सॉइल इरोजन, increase in soil erosion in upper reaches of the river, increase in soil erosion in upper reaches of the river, leading to leading to silting of riverbeds, leading to silting of riverbeds. Third, construction of structures leading to silting of riverbeds. Third, construction of structures in bed areas of the river. मतलब खद्दर, खद्दर की बात हो रही है, खद्दर एरियाज ऑफ द रिवर. अब आप लिखेंगे फ्लड प्रोन एरियाज ऑफ द कोस्टल प्लेन्स. राइट डाउन द फ्लड प्रोन एरियाज ऑफ द कोस्टल प्लेन. Write down the flood prone areas of the coastal plain. First point, the coastal areas of Odisha, comma, Andhra Pradesh, the coastal areas of Odisha, comma, Andhra Pradesh, comma, Tamil Nadu, comma, Kerala, comma, Maharashtra, and Gujarat are included in this region, are included in this region. Full stop. The magnitude of the flood becomes the magnitude of the flood becomes the magnitude of the flood becomes serious in the lower reaches of Mahanadi, serious in the lower reaches of Mahanadi, comma, Godavari, comma, Krishna and Kaveri, comma, Krishna and Kaveri. Full stop. The beds of these rivers are shallow, Krishna and Kaveri. The beds of this river, क्या reason है? Because इनके beds कैसे हैं? Shallow. Shallow means what? The area in which the हाँ, जहाँ जितना पानी आ सकता है वो कम है, shallow. ठीक है? So the beds of this river are shallow, which inundate after heavy downpour, which inundate after heavy downpour in their catchments, in their catchments, in their catchments. Full stop. Indiscriminate felling of trees, indiscriminate felling of trees in the catchment areas, indiscriminate felling of trees in the catchment areas of the main rivers, of the main rivers and their tributaries, and their tributaries has accelerated, has accelerated soil erosion. These has accelerated soil erosion and silting of the river beds, and silting of the river beds. That's all. Now we will come to the flood control and management. But before that, I want you to see the answer that we have I have given yesterday. The question I have given yesterday, and then I got assignment. Not downloaded yet. Paste the PPT. Okay, so this is the answer of Soumya, right, Soumya? This is what we have given in the assignment. So I'll be discussing a assignment here only. So why I thought so? Reason being because in this way, even people will get to. Can you see the screen? I know that you won't be able to see the text, but can you see that what has been written in, I mean structures etc. कितने लोग actually देख सकते हैं? It's visible. Piyush, Ishan, is it visible to you? Good. ठीक है. Okay, the starting from the first question that I have given to them is this. Assignment 1 says, thoda sa ye tilt, I'll read it off for you. Explain the thermally and dynamically induced pressure belts. Okay, the first question is this. Explain the dynamically and thermally and dynamically induced pressure belts. This is the question. Pressure belts. Okay. Now what you have to do? The way she has started the answer is good. The Earth's surface is divided into alternating high and low pressure belts that run almost parallel to the equator. See, this is how generally you have to explain the things. In a very rightful manner, she has explained and given an intro in a journal format. And then she has specifically told about thermal factor and dynamic factor. ठीक है, I like the intro. I find that intro was apt. And apart from that, बस मुझे ये लगा कि थोड़ा सा intro छोटा था, अगर एक दो लाइन और आ जाते तो ज़्यादा better रहता. ठीक है, otherwise it's fairly well. Next is thermally induced pressure belts. Very good, easily defined, अलग से लिखा है. And then equatorial low pressure belt, she has explained the equator receives max solar insolation throughout the year, which leads to high temperature, high expense. This region has high temperature, rising conventional current, heavy rainfall. Good. सारे टॉपिक्स बता दिए और शॉर्ट फॉर्म में बताएं. एक एक टॉपिक को ज्यादा एनहांस नहीं करा बिकॉज नोइंग द फैक्ट दैट हमारे पास वर्ल्ड लिमिट कितना कम रहता है. So polar high pressure belt, the pole receives least solar radiation, leading to less of temperature. What is this written? Low temperature, right? Led to low temperature with high altitude, creating high pressure good. Dynamic, इसमें मुझे बस ये लगा थोड़ा सा आपको latitudes mention कर देना चाहिए था. Latitude should have been mentioned. Else it's fine. Now dynamically high pressure, subtropical high pressure belt, the air rising from the equator moves polewards. It cools and descends, creating high pressure belt due to Hadley cells. This phenomena is not because of thermal cause. Very good, excellent. The way she has mentioned, it's not because of the thermal cause, but because of dynamic reasons with the movement of wind and earth's rotation. Good. The diagram has also been drawn. 0 degree, 10 degree. ये भी सही है. आई थिंक डायग्राम में थोड़ा सा सब ट्रॉपिकल हाई आपने कहाँ बनाया है? 23 पे बनाया है, विच इज रॉन्ग. इट हैज टू बी 30 पे. 30 से आप स्टार्ट करेंगे यहाँ पे सब ट्रॉपिकल हाई. ठीक है, और ये सब पोलर के नीचे 35 नहीं, यहाँ पे 60 आएगा. ये डायग्राम में मिस्टेक है, प्लीज सी द डायग्राम अगेन. डायग्राम बनाया है, ये बहुत अच्छी बात है, बट पॉइंट इज डायग्राम में मिस्टेक है. ठीक है, इस तरह से नहीं होगा डायग्राम. 66 पे आपने खत्म कर दिया सब पोलर. नो, 66 पे शुरू होगा. ठीक है, Okay, next is subpolar low pressure belt. When the cold polar easterlies meet the warm westerlies from subtropical pressure belt at this polar front, warm air being lighter rise above the cold air, creating a low pressure. It is caused by air convergence and not temperature. Good. ये excellent. The diagram has the diagram I was expecting. Very good. ITCZ भी इन्होंने मेंशन किया है यहाँ पे. नॉर्थ ईस्ट ट्रेड विंड ईस्टर्ली, इसको नॉर्थ ईस्ट ना बोल के आप ईस्टर्लीज बोल सकते हैं. ट्रॉपिकल ईस्टर्लीज and westerlies and polar easterlies. Excellent. Good. Are you taking a note of what she has done, how she has drawn? इसमें मुझे बस एक चीज लगा, conclusion missing था. Conclusion was missing. Please make sure कि आप conclusion लिखें. Here the conclusion was missing. ठीक है? Please make sure आप conclusion के बिना नहीं end करेंगे whatsoever. So please you would have written the conclusion. Otherwise it's fairly good. First time के हिसाब से बहुत अच्छा लिखा है. Next, the question that I've given to you is, let me see, explain the it's ITCZ. ठीक है? ITCZ significance. Okay. Second question is this. Let's look at the answer. Okay. ITCZ, intertropical convergence zone, is a broad low pressure belt around the equator where the northeast and southeast trade winds converge. हाँ सही बोला है, साउथ ईस्ट, दिस वन, इसको बोल रहे हैं. वेस्ट जो नीचे आपका नीचे वाला जो एरिया है, जैसे ये इज टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस, सही लिखा है उन्होंने. ये नॉर्थ ईस्ट से आ रही है, ये साउथ ईस्ट से आ रही है, एंड दे कन्वर्ज हियर. ठीक है? लुक एट द वे शी हैज रिटन. सिग्निफिकेंस मेंशन किया, वेरी गुड. It controls global heat and moisture distribution. ITCZ act as a thermal equator, redistribute solar energy and moisture between hemisphere. It maintains global heat balance through convection and rainfall. Governs tropical rainfall pattern. ITCZ, main source of rainfall in tropical regions. Seasonal migration north and south of the equator. Determines the wet and dry season of tropical countries. Good. Play key role in Indian monsoon system. During summer, excellent. Shift northwards over the Gangetic plain and southwards over Himalayas, create low pressure area in North India. And during winter, it shifts southwards, leading to northeast monsoon. Influence monsoon onset and withdrawal. Timing of ITCZ migration control, onset of southwest monsoon. Good. Good. Now, सपोर्ट बायोडाइवर्सिटी एग्रीकल्चर, ये देखिए इन्होंने एक्स्ट्रा पॉइंट डायनेमिक से भी ऐड किया, सिर्फ मॉनसून के पर्सपेक्टिव से नहीं. शी हैज आल्सो मेंशन अबाउट कि क्या चीज, व्हाट इट कैन लीड टू, ड्रॉट, एग्रीकल्चर प्रोडक्टिविटी या ईल्ड, हाउ इट इफेक्ट्स दैट. बिकॉज मॉनसून एक ही चीज नहीं, बहुत सारी चीजें इफेक्ट करता है, आपका कल्चर भी इफेक्ट करता है. ठीक है? एवरीथिंग इज डिटरमाइंड बाय दैट. So that point has also been mentioned. Support biodiversity. Areas under ITCZ receive abundant rainfall, supporting dense vegetation. Good. Biodiversity, rainfed agriculture, etc. Formation of tropical cyclone. ITCZ region being warm and moist is ideal for development of tropical cyclone. Many depression और low pressure systems. ये मुझे थोड़ा सा doubtful लग रहा है यहाँ पे. ये topic factually थोड़ा सा क्यों doubtful है? क्यों डाउटफुल है टेम्परेचर, ये पॉइंट? हम कल साइक्लोन पढ़ेंगे तब विल डिस्कस क्यों डाउटफुल है ये फैक्ट को एक बार चेक करना, ये मुझे सही नहीं लग रहा. बाकी सही है. कंक्लूजन इसमें भी मिसिंग है. कंक्लूजन प्लीज आप लिखेंगे, बाकी एवरीथिंग इज गुड. How many of you can understand what mistakes that I can spot here in the answer? Are you able to get it, online students? आपको समझ में आया राहुल? राइट? कंक्लूजन लिखना है, एटलीस्ट 4 लाइन्स का 5 लाइन्स का यू हैव टू राइट. उसके बिना यू विल नॉट गेट द मार्क्स. ठीक है? नेक्स्ट, हेले के बारे में. आई थिंक द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन वाज अबाउट हेले. एक्सप्लेन द मॉनसून एज अ सीजनल रिवर्सल ऑफ विंड्स कॉज्ड बाय डिफरेंसेस इन हीटिंग The theory focuses on differential healing and cooling of Indian subcontinent. सही है. Winter के में आपने लिखा during summer land gets heated due to insolation. I think this question was about Hele, if I'm not wrong. Yes, लिखा है यहाँ पे. Explain the Indian monsoon from the lens of Hele. And last question is criticism of Hele concepts of Indian monsoon. Okay. Land gets heated due to insolation, Tibetan plateau. ठीक है. ओके. विंटर्स में आपने मेंशन की कंक्लूजन. ठीक है. यहाँ पे लिखा है कंक्लूजन पर बहुत छोटा है. प्लीज यू हैव टू इंक्रीज द नंबर. जो नंबर्स आप लिख रहे हैं, यू हैव टू इंक्रीज द नंबर ऑफ वर्ड्स इन इट. प्लीज लुक एट इट फ्रॉम दैट पर्सपेक्टिव. इसमें कम है आपका. ठीक है. क्रिटिसिज्म में अच्छा, यू हैव ड्रॉन अ डायग्राम आल्सो. एक्सीलेंट. डायग्राम्स आर मस्ट. और कोशिश करिएगा कि आप कंक्लूजन डायग्राम्स के बाद लिखें, नॉट बिफोर दैट. ऑलवेज रिमेंबर, कंक्लूजन शुड बी रिटन ऑलवेज एट द एंड. ठीक है. उसके बाद डायग्राम्स नहीं बनाएंगे, डायग्राम्स बीच में बनाना है. गुड. इवन द डायग्राम्स आर वेरी नाइसली ड्रॉन. नॉर्दर्न हेमिस्फीयर, सदर्न हेमिस्फीयर, एंड देन टेम्परेचर ट्रॉपिकल, इट इज सेट सितंबर में. गुड. नाउ नेक्स्ट इज criticism. Criticism आपने सिर्फ ऐसे लिख दिया. Again the format has not been followed, but it's okay. We'll see the content. Oversimplified thermal expression assume that only the temperature difference between land and sea drives the monsoon. Yes, true. Monsoon is influenced by the complex interplay of thermodynamic and topographic. किसमें बताया था ये? Given in a dynamic theory. Dynamic theory of monsoon में आपको ये पता चला. ठीक है. There are other factors. Then Haley did not mention the role of the Earth's rotation. Coriolis force, very good, which causes reflection. Reason: the southwest monsoon winds blow obliquely from the southwest rather than directly to south to north. Good. He also ignored the migration of global pressure belts. Good. IPCZ. Then he does not even include the influence of the Himalayas and Tibetan plateau. Modern researches in meteorology have shown that the monsoon rainfall is not totally orographic. Yes. He ignores the fact that rainfall is not only conventional but also orographic and cyclonic. ओके. थोड़ा सा इनकम्प्लीट है. और भी फैक्टर्स थे इसमें. कंक्लूजन वगैरह मिसिंग है, जो आपका स्ट्रक्चरिंग होता है वो सब. अदरवाइज फ्रॉम द पर्सपेक्टिव दैट शी हैज रिटन फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम एंड गिवन इट टू मी, आई थिंक आई वुड गिव हर एक्सीलेंट रिव्यू. क्यों? देखिए, फर्स्ट टाइम के हिसाब से शी हैज ट्राइड टू गिव द इंट्रोडक्शन आल्सो. शी हैज वंडरफुली ड्रॉन, सपोर्टेड हर आंसर विद द डायग्राम, एंड दैट टू विद द लेबलिंग. कैन यू सी दैट? And I'm not sure whether she was able to write the answer in 8 minutes or not. That is something that I have to see. But apart from that, if I see the content, it's good. Good, Soumya. Excellent job. Okay. Now, how many of you can see and understood what the way she has written? Piyush, Ishan, can you get some of the takeaways from her answer writing? Key takeaways. Would you like to add on something जो missing था, या फिर it was aptly done by her? Yes, content थोड़ा point पे हो सकता था, but see I did not say anything to her, but reason being क्योंकि अभी आपने start किया है. अभी I think आपको ज़्यादा time लगा होगा. I'm sure आपको 15 minutes definitely लगे होंगे इस answer में. But अगर आप ऐसे लिख रहे हैं, this is in point only. आप इसको ऐसे करके second point, first point ऐसे लिख सकते थे, but clarity is there definitely. ठीक है. Good. Ishan, yours I'll discuss tomorrow. ठीक है. One by one I'm taking. All right. And this is a checking that I have done in the class only. I hope you have taken the points and key takeaways from the reviews. Where's the board? Okay, now coming to the flood control and management. उस पे आ जाइए. Please come to the flood control and management. पहला पॉइंट लिखेंगे फ्लड कंट्रोल मैनेजमेंट में, राइट डाउन फ्लड फोरकास्टिंग, राइट डाउन फ्लड फोरकास्टिंग कैसे करेंगे? फ्लड मैनेजमेंट ऑब्वियसली अगर आपके पास प्रायर नोटिस होगा किसी भी चीज का, आप उसको ज्यादा अच्छी तरह से हैंडल कर सकते हैं, राइट? So it's very important that you should have a prior understanding of it. Write down flood forecasting. The Water Commission, the Central Water Commission started. Write down the Central Water Commission started. The Central Water Commission started flood forecasting since November 1958. Has started flood forecasting since November 1958, comma, when the first forecasting station was established, when the first forecasting station was established at Old Bareilly, was established at Old Bareilly. प्लीज इसको रिमूव कर दीजिए, आई थिंक द डेटा इज नॉट राइट. आप सिर्फ नवंबर 1958 तक लिखिए, राइट डाउन फुल स्टॉप. It has extended the flood forecasting stations to cover. This has extended the flood forecasting station to cover almost all the major flood-prone rivers. To cover all the major flood-prone rivers. This has It has extended the flood forecasting stations to cover almost all the major flood-prone rivers of the country. Full stop. At present, there are 175 flood forecasting stations. At present, there are 175 flood forecasting stations on different major and minor rivers of the country. On different major and minor rivers of the country. Write down. The Central Flood Forecasting Organization. The Central Flood Forecasting Organization monitors floods. It monitors floods all over the country and issues warning. Full stop. The main flood forecasting areas are located at Surat, Bharuch, 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 Varanasi, Buxar, 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 Patna, and Dibrugarh. Second point लिखेंगे reduction of runoff. Reduction of runoff. OFF. Write down. Reduction in the runoff is one of the most effective methods. Reduction of runoff is one of the most effective method of flood control. Full stop. Runoff can be reduced. by inducing runoff can be reduced by inducing and increasing the infiltration by inducing and increasing the infiltration of the surface water into the ground into the ground. Full stop. Afforestation in the catchment area of rivers. Afforestation in the catchment area of the rivers. इसी में ही है. Afforestation is in the catchment area of the rivers is very effective step to check the runoff and to increase the percolation of water. Third point, construction of dams and reservoirs. Third point, construction of dams and reservoirs. The floods can be reduced by construction. The floods can be reduced by construction of dams and reservoirs. Full stop. As dams have the capacity of holding huge quantity of water during flood period and help in reducing the menace of floods. Full stop. Water stored in the reservoirs of dams can be released under the controlled conditions, comma, depending upon the carrying capacity of river channels. Full stop. A number of dams across Damodar, Satluj, Krishna, Kaveri, Narmada have been constructed to check the floods. Fourth point, control of flood levels. Please write down under it. And a number of steps may be taken to control the flood levels. Full stop. Among these steps, stream channelization, channel improvement and flood diversion are important. अब स्ट्रीम चैनलाइजेशन का मतलब समझते हैं. चैनलाइजेशन, हाँ, मतलब you have to channelize कि आपका पानी कहाँ पे किस तरह से it has to flow. That is called the stream channelization, right? So channel improvement and flood diversion are important. Next लिखेंगे, right on the next point. Construction of embankments. Write down. Construction of embankment is a very effective method. Against floods. Full stop. Construction of embankment has been taken in a big way. After establishment of after establishment of Central Water Commission and Flood Control Commission. After Central Water Commission and Flood Control Commission. Full stop. Over 12,000 kilometer long embankments have been constructed after the establishment of Flood Control Commission. Last point, write down floodplain zoning. Floodplain zoning. Floodplain zoning, ZOING. Floodplain zoning is another effective method of flood management. Full stop. It is based on information regarding the land use in floodplains. Full stop. Some areas are more prone to floods. Than others. Full stop. Construction of buildings, factories should be prohibited. ठीक है. Okay. What other steps you can take? ये not required. मतलब these are some extra steps which I'm telling you. If you want to write, that's fine. I'm just repeating and telling you. Okay. The following additional measures are also suggested. The first one is restriction on indiscriminate felling of trees. That is okay. Second is protecting the track along the major rivers for massive afforestation, where agriculture and house construction is prohibited. Third, regular dredging of river beds. Dredging आप समझते हैं? To clear. अगर river beds ज़्यादा बढ़ जाएंगे with siltation and all तो क्या होगा? Water will overflow. So that is called dredging. DRDGING. If you want to write, you can write dredging of river beds. Then formation of national water grid through which water floods could be diverted to dry areas. So there is also the demand of national water grids, जिसमें क्या होगा जो flood water से वो divert होगी कहाँ पे जहाँ पे dry areas. So we talked about the integrated river systems, right? Then or it could be stored in a reservoirs, and then to develop suitable drainage channels in waterlogged areas, and then engineering effective methods to protect the coastal areas from tide and sea surges. That is all about the floods and its management and control. Right, we have completed the topic of this. Now I would like you to just look at what things that we have done so far. Or koi, I think I have not given assignment question to you na, PYQ kuch diya hai aaj? I'll give it to you. Have you done the previous one? पहले आप ये बताइए. Otherwise I'll keep on giving it to you. तो फिर मैं एक दिन छोड़ के एक दिन दूं? अभी आपने वो पुराना वाला बैकलॉग हो गया है? हो जाएगा नहीं, यहाँ पर लेते हुआ है नहीं हुआ है, कर लेना. ठीक है, चलो ठीक है. बिकॉज यू हैव टेस्ट ऑल्सो टू राइट ना. इस वीकेंड पे लिखोगे ना तो वो लिख लेना, क्योंकि कल तो कोई क्लास है नहीं. सो इट्स बेटर कि आप वो टेस्ट कर लिए, मेरे लिए वो इम्पोर्टेंट है. बट इनको टेस्ट नहीं होगा आई गेस. सौम्या जस्ट जॉइन, ईशान ऑल्सो. सो फॉर देम आई थिंक, डू यू हैव असाइनमेंट क्वेश्चन सौम्या, निशान? कोई बचा है आपका बैकलॉग? डन, सारा कर लिया इन लोगों ने. सो आई हैव टू गिव देम. ओके, राइट डाउन अ क्वेश्चन. ईशान इज सेइंग समा लेफ्ट. ठीक है, सो लेट इट बी. मंडे से ही फिर नया असाइनमेंट आई विल गिव इट टू यू. ठीक है, यू कैन डू वन थिंग, यू कैन डू द करेक्शन सौम्या इन व्हाटएवर told you in the answers, you can do the correction the way I've checked. Okay, so आप एक बार ये देख लेना क्या क्या आपको changes करने हैं. The new assignment I'll give it on Monday. Okay, done. Then आप लोग वीकेंड्स पे आप वो कर लेना टेस्ट, और कोई डाउट है तो आप पूछ लीजिए. पिछला आपने कोई भी डाउट हो, रिवीजन में हो, अभी हो, फ्लड्स में हो, प्लीज आस्क. आईओडी, हाँ हमने करा था ना, आप आए नहीं थे उस क्लास में. बहुत अच्छे से डिस्कस किया है. आपको समझना है एक बार, मैं समझा देती हूँ दोबारा, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. यू वर नॉट प्रेजेंट इन दैट क्लास. आईओडी बहुत डिटेल में किया था हमने. देखो, व्हाट इज आईओडी? आई टोल्ड दैट इन डिस्पाइट ऑफ एनसो. एनसो समझते हो आप? नहीं समझते. एल नीनो, ला नीनो, ला नीना एंड सदर्न ऑसिलेशंस समझते हो थोड़ा बहुत? ठीक है. देखो, एल नीनो इज अटैच्ड टू ड्रॉट कंडीशंस ऑलवेज. लेकिन इंडिया, near India it is blessed, like your Indian Ocean etc, they are blessed in a way that even if you will have El Nino, जरूरी नहीं है कि इंडिया में मानसून नहीं हो. डेफिनेटली हो भी सकते, नहीं भी हो सकते. ठीक है. अगर एल नीनो आया है, इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि इंडिया में देयर विल बी अ ड्रॉट. क्यों? बिकॉज दिस विल सेव देम. आईओडी विच इज इंडियन ओशन डाइपोल विल सेव देम. अब कितने टाइप्स के आईओडी होते हैं? 3 टाइप्स के आईओडी होते हैं आपके. वन इज योर पॉजिटिव आईओडी, one is your negative IOD, and third one is your neutral. And what do you mean by all this? अगर पॉजिटिव आईओडी होगा तो इंडियन, जो आपका इंडियन ओशन है, इंडियन ओशन इज ईस्टर्न इंडियन ओशन एंड वेस्टर्न इंडियन ओशन. ईस्टर्न इंडियन ओशन में कौन सा प्रेशर होगा? हाई प्रेशर. और यहाँ कौन सा होगा? लो प्रेशर. इसको आप क्या बोलोगे? दिस इज नोन एज योर कौन सा आईओडी? पॉजिटिव. This will lead to what? Rainfall in India. So even if you will have El Nino between South America and Australia, वहीं पे तो El Nino पता चलता है ना. अगर ये भी है तब भी यहाँ पे क्या होगा? पॉजिटिव आईओडी. तो it will rain in India. Negative IOD means यहाँ पे due to some reason will have a high pressure और यहाँ पे low pressure. This will create what? Negative IOD. It will be a cause. It will be a negative IOD. That means you will not have rainfall in the India. मतलब कम होगी. ठीक है. It will be a drought year. Then neutral में क्या होगा? Temperature difference ज़्यादा नहीं होगा दोनों में. ज़्यादा difference नहीं होगा. So this is called your neutral. ठीक है. So here you will have high pressure. Here you will have low pressure. And there will be a difference between them. जितना ज़्यादा इसमें difference, उतना अच्छा मानसून. डिफरेंस को और क्या बोलते हैं? ग्रेडियंट. उतना अच्छा यहाँ पे क्या होगा? मानसून होगा इंडिया में. सिंपल. वो एक अलग स्टोरी है, दैट आई विल एक्सप्लेन यू समडे, कि यहाँ पे हाई प्रेशर, क्योंकि वो सब फिर आपको वहां से कनेक्ट करना पड़ेगा, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, पेरू, वो सब. लेकिन सिर्फ आईओडी शॉर्ट फॉर्म में समझना है तो दिस इज आईओडी. इसका मतलब ला नीना क्या है? इट विल ब्रिंग गुड मानसून डेज. एल नीनो क्या है? इट विल ब्रिंग ड्रॉट्स. लेकिन तब भी हम लोग सेव कर सकते हैं बिकॉज ऑफ इंडियन. अगर कभी ला नीना भी आया और आईओडी भी पॉजिटिव है तो बहुत अच्छा मानसून होगा. कभी एल नीनो आया और ला नीना और इंडियन ओशन डाइपोल इज आल्सो नॉट वर्किंग, सो आपका फिर इट विल अफेक्ट. कभी कभी न्यूट्रल. ठीक है. थैंक यू सो मच क्लास. एक बार रिकॉर्डेड लेक्चर देख लेना और समझ आ जाएगा. ठीक है. वॉचिंग. ओके, डन.